That only 1% of people who start a book actually finish it. And I know this from experience. I wrote a book, I started it 7 years ago, and for 7 years I didn't finish my book. And then I eventually finished my book. And so now I've become part of the 1% that do finish books. And I know what that challenge is like to start a book and not finish it. So I want this video to inspire you today to finish the book that you've started or to start your very own book from scratch. Whatever way you're doing it, welcome to this channel. My name is Vicky Lord, and I help you to write your first book. So I've got 10 reasons for you today why you should put the passion and the effort into creating yourself this book. And your book doesn't have to go out into the world and be a masterpiece, a bestseller. What it needs to do is inspire your very own soul, and that will inspire naturally your children and those who come after you. So imagine writing this book for your granddaughter or writing this book for your son or your son's son. Somebody along your line, your generation is going to pick up your book and go, oh, that was my grandmother or that was my grandfather. So let these 10 inspiring reasons to write your book inspire you today. So subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and let's dive in to how to change your life with writing and 10 life-changing reasons to write your book. So the first one is that it clears your thoughts. And when I wrote my first book, gee, it helped so much. I was like writing away, and it was amazing how it all just comes out of your mind and onto the paper, and it leaves you feeling like a free person. And that feeling is priceless. And the only way to get that is to get your pen and paper and to start writing. And you'll be really surprised after 10 minutes what actually comes out of you. And sometimes all it takes is 10 minutes to write a masterpiece um, that can feel like you're inspiring even the energy around you. It doesn't have to be another person, but it'll come out of you and you'll have this feeling of deep relaxation because of the clearing of your mind onto the paper. So that's the first thing. The second thing is, like I mentioned before, it is a legacy for your children and your children's children. And my grandmother never wrote a book, so I don't have a book about her life. All I know is that she was born and raised in Ireland. But I think it would have been really nice before she passed if she had something to hand down to her children. And I couldn't think of anything better than the words of your wisdom going to the next generation. So my children have a book. When I eventually have my time on this earth, I'll be handing them down some books, and more than one book. They'll have a multiple little bookshelf of books. And so it's totally possible for you as well to write something meaningful for those who come after you and share your wisdom. And the next reason why it's so incredible to write a book is because you become a bigger problem solver. So if there's three skills in life that my husband says that we should all have, and one is reading, being able to read and write, do maths, and solve problems. And if you can solve problems, then you're creating a wonderful future for yourself. You're not going to be at the mercy of other people. So writing a book will open up these new ways of how you can be a problem solver. Even if the problem that you're solving is simply something like an inner work, like confidence, writing will bring that out of you. So, being a problem solver, and yeah, like I said before, you don't have to change the world, but we're changing our own personal world. And when you can solve problems, then life will be more relaxed and stress-free. So, the fourth one is, and this one I love, all these reasons are personal reasons that I found myself. And this one that I found was emotional freedom and emotional intelligence. And if you've got something bottled up within you, like emotions, it feels tight in your chest. You'd be like you're holding your breath. But once you write it down and you let it all go, it's like, and you have the emotional freedom and the emotional, what would I call it? You'd be on solid knowing now instead of letting it hold you, you'll be able to let it go. And there's nothing more amazing than being emotionally free to walk this earth and not being held by the past. So you may call that inner freedom or freeing the past, the emotional freedom side of and the emotional side, freedom side of writing. So the fifth one is self-accountability. When I finished my book, I was able to sit back and go, I'm an author now. It's done. And that keeping to your word. So if you've started your book and haven't finished, if you keep your word and you finish it, then it will be a real sense of accomplishment for you. And what a victory that is in itself to actually do something and keep your word to yourself. Because how many times do we say we're going to do something for ourselves and we don't keep the word to ourselves? And that creates a lack of confidence in itself. But when we go and we finish something that we started, we can say, I did that. And yeah, it's really worth taking the time. It does take a little bit of time to write a book, but it's very rewarding. You don't have to have the whole thing mapped out right now. And if you don't actually know how to start your book, I do have the 5-day Start Your Book series. It's in the link below. I'll put it there. But you don't have to have the whole book mapped out. All you need to do is just start and just go for one more day. When people are on a challenge, it's just like one more day. And that's what you do with your book. You just put pen to paper one more day and it will come to pass. Okay, so after you've got self accomplishment and accountability, we've got if you're into business, it can be amazing for your personal brand, and it will put you on it'll inspire new ways to do your business. So this is what I found once I finished my book. I was like, oh, it was like a light bulb moment turned on, and I could see this different vision because I'd accomplished this book, and inspired me. That's why this channel has happened now. Once I finished my book, I'm like, I want others to feel as good as I do. So it'll make your business go to a new level, and your personal brand out of that business will evolve because we're all supposed to be growing. Okay, so the next one is that you can get forgiveness and empathy when you write a book. And because we can't always talk to another person, but we can get our pen and paper, and we can write down the truth on the pen and paper without having to go and speak to someone else. So you can find forgiveness and empathy in your pen and paper without having to go through the challenge and the hardship of going and confronting someone else. If you don't want to confront them and you don't want to hurt them, instead you can write it down, and that will send you free as well. And the next one I wanted to talk about is it kind of links up with the forgiveness and empathy, but your first draft is healing. And so if you're coming from a place where you are doing some inner work and creating a life of freedom and happiness and boldness, writing can set the past free. It will create a phenomenal way that you'll have this story within you. It'll be on paper, but you don't have to share that story with the whole world. That's just your rough draft. You go and create another one after that, which is the one that you share with the world. You don't share everything with the world. But when you write down that past on paper, you're letting it all go. And that is, if someone's going through a healing process, is the most powerful process that I have found, is to write a book and let it all go. And then you can go and you can take out the stuff you don't want in your book and put what you do want in the book. So that sense of freedom will yeah, it's an amazing experience. You'll only get it when you write a book. So write a book. This is your inspiration. And number 9 is you get an unexpected new learning. And what I mean by this is that you'll be writing away, and then because you've cleared the past, it's opened up a new door, and the new door is a new learning, and you'll feel like a totally new person. And so as once you had one belief, after you've finished writing your book, you'll grow into another belief, and it will be a new learning in life. And you'll never see everybody the same anymore after you write your book. You'll see you'll see people in their own unique journey and their own unique way. Just like I'm in my own unique journey and own unique way. And that whole part of comparing yourself to somebody else, it goes away because you know that everybody has their own life story. And so that was one learning that I got after I finished my book. I was like, you know, you don't have to be held by comparison anymore because we all have our own stories. And your new learning will be something totally different to mine, but it will still be amazing just for you. And wouldn't it be worth it to write this book and get a new learning that sets you free? So if you think of some area of your life that you want to be free from right now, an emotional feeling or a feeling of being stuck, writing the book will be your way out. And the last part that I want to say is that it's really good for your brain. When I was in uni studying social work, we got told that if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Because we're working with people with mental health, if they weren't using their brain in a constructive way, they would lose it, you know. So our brain is supposed to be working for us. It's not supposed to be sitting there idle. There's a book I was actually reading called Joseph Murphy, his Power of the Mind book. He says that an idle brain is a devil's workshop and the imaginative brain is God's workshop. And so when you're writing your book, you can use the power of your imagination and create this adventure story about your life that your generations after you will love to read. And that is what we're supposed to be doing with our brain. We're supposed to be using it for amazing creations, not just to be sitting idle. So I hope this video inspires you to write a book today. And I want to know where you're at in your book. Are you just starting your book, or do you have an idea for a book and you haven't started yet? Or have you never thought that you'd ever be a writer of a book before? And whatever stage you're in right now, I want to welcome you to this channel. And you can subscribe and get more tips on writing your book. And I'll also leave the link for the 5-day book starter challenge so that you can start your book today in just 10 minutes a day. It doesn't have to take a long, long time. This is your life and your story. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video.